Welcome to a world of wonder and intrigue. Did you know that honey never spoils? Archaeologists have found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are over 3,000 years old and still perfectly edible. In the depths of the ocean, there lies a lake. Known as the Underwater Lake, this brine pool in the Gulf of Mexico is so salty that it has a shoreline and waves, just like a regular lake. Speaking of the ocean, octopuses have 3 hearts and blue blood. 2 hearts pump blood to the gills, while the 3rd heart circulates it to the rest of the body. Their blue blood is due to a copper-rich protein. Now, let's venture into space. Did you know a day on Venus is longer than a year? Venus rotates on its axis very slowly, taking about 243 Earth days to complete a rotation, but it only takes 225 Earth days to orbit the Sun. Back on Earth, did you know that bananas are berries, but strawberries are not? Botanically speaking, a berry is a fruit produced from the ovary of a single flower with seeds embedded in the flesh. On the other hand, strawberries are considered aggregate fruits. Here's something for language enthusiasts. The longest word in the English language is 189,819 letters long. It's the chemical name for the protein titin. But don't worry, it would take over 3 hours to pronounce. Speaking of long things, the Great Wall of China is not visible from space with the naked eye. It's a common myth, but in reality, it's very difficult to see man-made objects from space without aid. In the animal kingdom, a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance. These majestic birds are known for their bright pink feathers and elaborate group dances. Lastly, did you know that trees can communicate with each other? Through a network of fungi in the soil, trees can share nutrients and even send warning signals about environmental changes. Certainly, here's another set of fascinating facts in a similar format. Imagine a world where caterpillars turn into liquid inside their cocoons before emerging as butterflies. This remarkable transformation is one of nature's most extraordinary processes. In the realm of the skies, a bolt of lightning can reach temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. Lightning heats the air around it to an astonishing 50,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Did you know that the Eiffel Tower can be 15 centimeters taller during the summer? When a substance is heated up, its particles move more and it takes up a larger volume. This is known as thermal expansion. Moving to the animal kingdom, did you know that cows have best friends? They get stressed when they are separated from their favorite companions. This bond is a testament to the social nature of these animals. Let's dive into the world of plants. Bamboo is one of the fastest growing plants in the world. In the right conditions, it can grow up to 91 centimeters, 3 feet, in just 1 day. Now let's talk about the human body. Did you know that the human nose can remember 50,000 different scents? This incredible ability is thanks to the roughly 400 scent receptors found in the nose. In the world of art, did you know that the Mona Lisa has no eyebrows? In the Renaissance era, it was common for women to pluck them out, as they were considered unsightly. Let's venture into space again. If you could fold a piece of paper 42 times, it would reach the moon. This fact highlights the power of exponential growth, although folding a paper that many times is practically impossible. Back to Earth, a day was only 21 hours long in the time of the dinosaurs. The Earth's rotation gradually slows down over time due to the gravitational pull of the moon. Lastly, did you know that there are more trees on Earth than stars in the Milky Way? Our planet is home to about 3 trillion trees, while our galaxy has between 100 and 400 billion stars. I'm glad you're enjoying these facts. Here's another set of captivating tidbits. Did you know that the heart of a shrimp is located in its head? This unusual anatomy is just one of the many wonders of the aquatic world. In the realm of the bizarre, there is a species of fungus, Ophiocordyceps unilateralis, that can zombify ants. It takes over their bodies and alters their behavior for its own reproductive purposes. Switching to the cosmos, a single teaspoon of a neutron star would weigh about 6 billion tons. Neutron stars are incredibly dense, making them one of the most fascinating objects in space. Did you know that humans and giraffes have the same number of neck vertebrae? Despite their long necks, giraffes only have 7 vertebrae, just like humans. Back on Earth, the Sahara Desert is expanding. It's about 10% larger than it was a century ago, making it one of the most significant climatic changes on the planet. In the world of music, did you know that the Beatles used the word love 613 times in their songs? Their music is widely recognized for its messages of love and peace. Speaking of nature, a group of owls is called a parliament. This term reflects the perceived wisdom of these birds in folklore. In the depths of the sea, the pressure at the bottom of the Mariana Trench is over 1,000 times the standard atmospheric pressure at sea level. Did you know that the fingerprints of koala bears are so similar to humans that they can taint crime scenes? They are virtually indistinguishable even under a microscope. Lastly, the age of the Earth's oldest living tree is over 4,800 years. Named Methuselah, this ancient bristlecone pine tree lives in the White Mountains of California. Here's another collection of fascinating facts for your ASMR journey. Imagine a world where the smell of rain has a name, petrichor. This earthy scent, produced when rain falls on dry soil, is caused by the release of oils secreted by certain plants. In the animal kingdom, a snail can sleep for 3 years when the weather doesn't suit it, a survival mechanism known as estivation. Did you know that the largest snowflake ever recorded was 15 inches wide? It was discovered in Montana, USA in 1887. The human body is a marvel. The total length of all the blood vessels in the human body is about 60,000 miles, long enough to circle the Earth more than twice. In the realm of the deep sea, the vampire squid has the largest eyes, relative to its body size, of any animal in the world. Jupiter, the largest planet in our solar system, is so big that more than 1,300 Earths could fit inside it. A fact about time: the world's oldest continuously running clock, built in 1386, is located in Salisbury Cathedral, England. Did you know that grasshoppers have ears on their bellies? Unlike humans, their hearing organs are located on their abdomens. The Amazon rainforest produces about 20% of the world's oxygen, earning it the nickname, the lungs of the earth. In the world of fruits, pineapples take about 2 years to grow. A single pineapple plant produces just 1 pineapple in its lifetime. Diamonds, the hardest natural substance on Earth, are so sturdy that they can only be cut with another diamond. In the universe of colors, the color pink doesn't exist in the spectrum of visible light. What we perceive as pink is a combination of red and violet light, colors at opposite ends of the spectrum. The human brain is an energy powerhouse. While it makes up only 2% of our body weight, it consumes 20% of our total energy and oxygen intake. The Eiffel Tower was originally intended for Barcelona, Spain, but the project was rejected, leading to its iconic presence in Paris, France. Lobsters have a fascinating trait. They have blue blood. This is due to the presence of copper in their blood cells, in contrast to the iron in human blood cells. Absolutely. Here are more intriguing facts for your ASMR experience. Consider this. The tongue of a blue whale is as heavy as an elephant, the largest animal on Earth displaying this proportion. In the realm of plants, sunflowers are known to follow the sun across the sky, a phenomenon called heliotropism. Did you know that some turtles breathe through their butts? Specifically, the Fitzroy River turtle has a highly vascularized region in its cloaca that allows for gas exchange. The Dead Sea is so salty that it's impossible to sink in it. This hypersaline lake borders Jordan, Israel, and the West Bank. Humans and giraffes have the same number of bones in their necks, 7. Despite the giraffe's long neck, its cervical vertebrae are just more elongated. In ancient Greece, throwing an apple at someone was considered a marriage proposal. In contrast, catching it was an acceptance. Did you know that Alfred Hitchcock was afraid of eggs? He described his fear as a phobia about anything that is oval. A group of crows is known as a murder. This term dates back to medieval times and reflects the dark and ominous character associated with these birds. The world's smallest bird is the bee hummingbird, which can be found in Cuba. It's about the size of a large bee and weighs less than a penny. In Switzerland, it's illegal to own just one guinea pig because they're social animals and get lonely by themselves. A bolt of lightning contains enough energy to toast 100,000 slices of bread. The shortest war in history was between Britain and Zanzibar on August 27, 1896. Zanzibar surrendered after 38 minutes. Did you know that polar bear skin is black? Their fur is translucent and only appears white because it reflects visible light. Bananas are naturally radioactive. This is due to their potassium content and the small amounts of the isotope potassium-40 found in them. In medieval times, knights wore chainmail suits to protect themselves from injuries in battles. These suits could weigh as much as 55 pounds. I'm delighted that you're enjoying these facts. Here's another set for your ASMR journey. Marvel at the fact that a single cloud can weigh more than 1 million pounds. This is due to the water droplets or ice crystals that make up the cloud. The lifespan of a dragonfly is just 24 hours. In this brief time, they must complete their life cycle. Did you know that a group of flamingos is called a flamboyance? These birds are known for their vibrant pink feathers and social behavior. In space, metals can stick together permanently in a process called cold welding. This doesn't happen on Earth due to the oxygen in our atmosphere. A cat has 32 muscles in each ear, allowing them to move their ears independently and precisely locate the source of a sound. In the 20th century, the American town of Centralia became a ghost town due to a coal mine fire that has been burning since 1962 and could continue for over 250 years. Venus spins in the opposite direction to most planets in our solar system. This means that on Venus, the sun rises in the west and sets in the east. A day on Mercury, the closest planet to the sun, lasts approximately 59 Earth days. This is due to its slow rotation on its axis. The total weight of all the ants on Earth is about the same as the weight of all the humans on the planet. Did you know that the fingerprints of a koala are so similar to humans that they can be confused at a crime scene? The world's deepest postbox, located in Suzami Bay in Japan, is 10 meters underwater. Divers often use it to send waterproof postcards. An octopus has 3 hearts and 9 brains, a central brain and a smaller brain in each of its 8 arms. The can opener was invented 48 years after the can. Before that, people used hammers and chisels to open cans. Honeybees can recognize human faces. In a study, bees were shown photos of human faces and learned to associate the images with sweet rewards. The word muscle comes from the Latin word for little mouse, which is what ancient Romans thought flexed bicep muscles resembled. I'm glad you're enjoying these fascinating facts. Here's another set. Did you know that the moon has moonquakes? Just like earthquakes on Earth, the moon experiences these quakes, but they are less common and less intense. The world's largest flower, Rafflesia arnoldi, can grow up to 3 feet in diameter and is found in the rainforests of Indonesia. A group of porcupines is called a prickle. Porcupines are solitary animals, and this term is rarely used, but quite fitting given their spiky nature. Did you know that the Sahara Desert was once a lush region with lakes and vegetation? It underwent a transformation into a desert around 5,700 years ago due to shifts in the Earth's orbit. In 1939, the novel Gadsby was published, written by Ernest Vincent Wright. The entire 50,000 word book doesn't contain the letter E. Crows are among the most intelligent birds. They can use tools, solve complex problems, and even recognize themselves in a mirror. The world's oldest piece of chewing gum is over 5,000 years old. It was discovered in Finland and is made from birch bark tar. Did you know that a group of kangaroos is called a mob? Kangaroos are social animals and often live in groups. The shortest war in history was between Britain and Zanzibar on August 27, 1896. Zanzibar surrendered after just 38 minutes. Water can boil and freeze at the same time. This phenomenon, known as the triple point, can occur under specific conditions of pressure and temperature. The human body contains enough fat to make 7 bars of soap. Fat is an important energy source and plays a vital role in our bodies. The largest snowflake ever recorded measured 15 inches across. It was discovered in Fort Keogh, Montana, in 1887. Starfish don't have brains. They have a complex nervous system but lack a centralized brain. There's a species of jellyfish, Turritopsis dohrnii, known as the immortal jellyfish. It can revert to its juvenile form after reaching maturity. The world's quietest room is located at Orfield Laboratories in Minneapolis. The background noise measured is -9 decibels. Certainly, here are more intriguing facts. Have you ever heard about the town with no roads? Giethoorn in the Netherlands is a charming village with no roads, and all transport is done by water over one of the many canals. There's a festival in Spain where people throw tomatoes at each other, called La Tomatina. It's held in the town of Buñol, and participants throw overripe tomatoes purely for entertainment. Did you know that apples belong to the rose family, just like pears and plums? This family is known for its fragrant flowers and includes some fruits as well. The shortest commercial flight in the world is between 2 Scottish Orkney Islands, Westray and Papa Westray, and takes as little as 53 seconds. Antarctica is the only continent with no time zones. It sits in every time zone since all longitudinal lines converge there, but most research stations use either New Zealand or Chile time. In 1923, jockey Frank Hayes won a race at Belmont Park in New York, despite being dead. He suffered a heart attack mid-race, but his body stayed in the saddle until his horse crossed the line for a 20-1 outsider victory. Cleopatra lived closer in time to the invention of the iPhone than to the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Cleopatra lived around 30 BC, while the Great Pyramids were built around 2560 BC. A bolt of lightning is 5 times hotter than the sun. Lightning can reach temperatures of around 30,000 kelvins, 53,540 degrees Fahrenheit, while the sun's surface is around 5,500 degrees Celsius, 9,932 degrees Fahrenheit. In 2006, An Australian man tried to sell New Zealand on eBay. The price rose to $3,000 before eBay shut it down. It rains diamonds on Jupiter and Saturn. The immense pressure in these planets' atmospheres turns carbon into diamond. The shortest war in history was between Britain and Zanzibar on August 27, 1896. Zanzibar surrendered after just 38 minutes. Did you know that a single spaghetti noodle is called a spaghetto? Similarly, a single piece of confetti is known as a confetto. The world's largest grand piano was built by a 15-year-old in New Zealand. It measures about 18 feet in length. There's a basketball court above the Supreme Court. It's known as the highest court in the land. Octopuses lay 56,000 eggs at a time. The mother spends 6 months taking care of them and doesn't eat during this period. The inventor of the Frisbee was turned into a Frisbee after he died. Walter Morrison invented the Frisbee in the 1940s, and his ashes were molded into a Frisbee after his death in 2010. I'm glad you're enjoying these facts. Here's another batch of fascinating tidbits. Did you know that the world's oldest known recipe is for beer? This ancient formula was discovered in a hymn to the Sumerian goddess of brewing, dating back to 1800 BC. A group of rabbits is called a fluffle. This adorable term is fitting for these cute social animals. The pressure at the bottom of the Mariana Trench, the deepest known point in the ocean, is more than 1,000 times the standard atmospheric pressure at sea level. Cats have a specialized collarbone that allows them to always land on their feet when they fall, a phenomenon known as the righting reflex. There is a species of bird, the lyrebird, which can mimic almost any sound it hears, including chainsaws, camera shutters, and car alarms. The human body is bioluminescent and actually emits light, but it's 1,000 times weaker than the human eye can perceive. There are more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on all the beaches on Earth. The universe is vast, beyond comprehension. Did you know that there's a type of eternal flame that burns in a waterfall in New York? A natural gas leak just under the waterfall keeps it lit, creating a fascinating natural phenomenon. A group of frogs is called an army. This term is quite fitting given their often loud and boisterous nature in groups. The opa, or moonfish, is the only known fully warm-blooded fish that can regulate its body temperature. In the 16th century, Turkish women could initiate a divorce if their husbands didn't pour coffee for them. Coffee was an integral part of Turkish society. The world's largest snowman was built in Bethel, Maine in 2008. Named Olympia. It stood at 122 feet and 1 inch tall. A crocodile cannot stick its tongue out. Its tongue is firmly attached to the roof of its mouth, so it doesn't move. Did you know that the unicorn is the national animal of Scotland? This mythical creature was chosen for its association with dominance and chivalry. Before trees were common, the earth was covered with giant mushrooms. These fungi could grow up to 24 feet tall and 3 feet wide. Here's more for your endless journey of fascinating facts. The heart of the blue whale, the largest animal on the planet, is so big that a human can swim through its arteries. There's an opera house on the US-Canada border where the stage is in one country and half the audience is in another. It's the Haskell Free Library and Opera House, and it straddles the border between Derby Line, Vermont, and Stansted, Quebec. A lightning strike can reach a temperature of 30,000 degrees Celsius, 54,000 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 5 times hotter than the surface of the sun. Did you know that there are more possible iterations of a game of chess than there are atoms in the known universe? In ancient Rome, when a man testified in court, he would swear on his testicles, which is where the word testify originated. The world's quietest room is at Microsoft's headquarters in Washington state. The background noise measured is minus 20.35 dBA, which is 20 decibels below the threshold of human hearing. A single strand of spider silk is thinner than a human hair, but also 5 times stronger than steel of the same width. There is a species of jellyfish known as Turritopsis dohrnii that is essentially immortal. It can revert back to its juvenile form after reaching maturity. Bananas are curved because they grow towards the sun. This process is known as negative geotropism. Did you know that Scotland's national animal is the unicorn? This mythical creature was chosen for its purity and power in Celtic mythology. Wombat poop is cube-shaped. This unusual shape helps prevent it from rolling away and marks the territory to attract mates and deter predators. The oldest Your Mom joke was discovered on a 3500-year-old Babylonian tablet. The Amazon rainforest produces 20% of the world's oxygen. It's often referred to as the lungs of the earth. Lake Hillier in Australia is a bright pink color. The color is thought to be from the presence of the algae Dunaliella salina. Continuing with more captivating facts, in Venice, Italy, there are more canals than streets. The city is built on a group of 118 small islands, connected by over 400 bridges. The Gate of the Sun, a megalithic solid stone arch or gateway constructed by the ancient Tiwanaku culture of Bolivia, is cut from a single piece of stone. A group of cats is called a clouder. The term dates back to at least the late Middle Ages. In 1567, the man said to have the longest beard in the world died after he tripped over his beard running away from a fire. There's a town in Norway called Hell, and it freezes over every winter. It's a popular tourist spot, especially for the photo opportunity with the town's name during the cold months. Did you know that the first oranges weren't orange? The original oranges from Southeast Asia were a tangerine pomelo hybrid, and they were actually green. The shortest commercial flight in the world is between 2 Scottish islands, Westray and Papa Westray, and takes as little as 53 seconds. The world's largest grand piano was built by a 15-year-old in New Zealand. It measures about 5.7 meters long. Arachibutyrophobia is the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. This phobia can range from mild to severe. Now, did you know that there's a fruit that tastes like chocolate pudding? It's called black sapote, or chocolate pudding fruit, and is native to Central and South America. In Japan, there's a crying sumo festival where sumo wrestlers compete to see who can make a baby cry first. It's believed to bring good health to the babies. The shortest war in history was between Britain and Zanzibar on August 27, 1896. Zanzibar surrendered after just 38 minutes. A single spaghetti noodle is called a spaghetto, and a single ravioli is called a raviolo. In ancient Egypt, servants were smeared with honey to attract flies away from the pharaoh. The largest snowflake ever recorded was 15 inches wide and 8 inches thick. It was discovered at Fort Keogh, Montana, in 1887. Certainly. Here's more for your curiosity. The weight of all the ants on Earth is roughly equal to the weight of all the humans. This astonishing fact highlights the sheer number of ants worldwide. In South Korea, there is a special day dedicated to singles called Black Day. On April 14th, singles who didn't receive gifts on Valentine's Day or White Day gather and eat black bean paste noodles. There's a phenomenon in Iceland known as the Elf School, where you can learn about Icelandic folklore, including elves and hidden people. The national anthem of Greece has 158 verses, making it the longest national anthem in the world. In 1952, Mr. Potato Head was the first toy to be advertised on TV. It was originally sold as separate plastic parts that could be stuck into a real potato or vegetable. A group of flamingos is known as a flamboyance. These striking birds are known for their bright pink feathers and synchronized movements in groups. Did you know that the majority of the world's fresh water, about 90%, is in Antarctica? This frozen continent plays a crucial role in Earth's climate and ecosystems. The world's oldest toy is a stick. Sticks are versatile and have been used in play for millennia, showing that sometimes the simplest things are the best. And there's a fruit that tastes like chocolate pudding when it's ripe, the black sapote. Also known as the chocolate pudding fruit, it's native to Central America. M&M's chocolate stands for Mars and Murray's, the last names of the candy's founders. A bolt of lightning contains enough energy to toast 100,000 slices of bread. Before the 19th century, dentures were commonly made with teeth pulled from the mouths of dead soldiers. Did you know that the shortest flight in the world is only 57 seconds long? It's between two islands in Scotland, Westray and Papa Westray.